back to Mancave Moments, a show about sports, life, drink, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about.
Yeah.
So we're here for part 2 of our restaurant series.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk on local restaurants.
It's been a few weeks since we've done part 1.
Correct.
This is actually the first time in probably a month we're doing back-to-back weeks of getting something out because we're not as busy.
It is. Now, let's see if our editor can get it out in a timely fashion.
Let's not talk about our editor right now. She's going to come up later and flying high with the goose.
Okay.
Because I'm very bitter this week.
I understand that.
Very, very bitter this week.
I understand
She knows why, and our viewers.
And you know what? It's not from our local beer.
No.
Which is from the New Glarus Brewing Company.
Yes.
It's one of your favorite beers.
It is my favorite beer. I'm not a beer guy much these days anymore. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't hit the spot. I'm more of a bourbon guy, but anytime there's a New Glarus beer within arm's reach, I grab one. I've got a hard, fast rule that when I'm down to one, I don't drink one until I can replace it.
Gotcha.
It's not easy for me to replace it.
And now, where can you get New Glarus beer?
Wisconsin.
Especially Spotted Cow.
Wisconsin.
So it's locally brewed in Wisconsin.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And you can't buy it in Indiana.
No, you can't buy it.
Can't buy it in Illinois.
You can't buy it outside of Wisconsin.
Only in Wisconsin.
So fortunately, my wife's aunt, Marty, is my supplier. Whenever I know that she's coming, I call her up, I give her my order, I Venmo her or PayPal or whatever so that she gets the money up front.
Yep.
And she brings me what I need. Normally it's a case of Spotted Cow and then there's a sampler pack. Or Spotted Cow might be my favorite website to visit in the aspect of when you want their different flavors, you can go onto their website
and see when they are.
When they are and exactly what stores have them.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of times I'll get in and I'll tell her I want 4 or 5 different kinds. So I'll go on their list and I'll click on whatever and see where they're at. And the last 3 or 4 times that she's brought it home for me, she's been able to one-stop shop.
Awesome.
The first couple times she did it, she'd have to go to liquor store 1, liquor store 2. Oh, I can't find this. Liquor store 3, and then I just get what I got.
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, I want this, this, and this. This is where it's at. This is the address. And the last, she goes, oh, that's like 2 miles from my house.
That's awesome.
So I mean, just within arm's reach, we got Cabin Fever. I've got the coffee. We're drinking regular Spotted Cow, and then I believe I have. 2 Women Lager, which is really good. I think I'm all out of the Totally Naked.
I can't think of 2 women not being good, especially if they were totally naked.
You took that in a whole new direction.
I did.
I'm not going to comment on that because the editor will kill me.
Yes, that's probably a good idea.
So,
see, my spouse doesn't watch any of this stuff, which I don't know why. She's probably what she's doing. She's probably waiting up because my wife loves to binge watch, and she will probably do like 10 or 15 episodes in a day, and then be mad at me for 2 weeks. So hey,
fair enough.
We'll make.
But yeah, so New Glarus beer, one of my favorites. Yeah. I don't think
proud unofficial sponsor of today's episode.
Yeah, the only other I think local that I have here is the Starlight Whiskey, which is actually brewed down by French Lick.
Okay.
Everything else I have is.
But when we talk about local, we're talking about small. We're talking about unique.
We're talking non-chain, non-regional. You can get it here, and that's about it.
Yeah, there's a handful. There may be one location. There may be a handful of locations. And I think that kind of transcends a lot of our lives. Even in our bourbon selection, we go with smaller craft bourbons if we can. We'll drink the good big stuff. But you're talking about a bourbon that's distilled usually in one location.
Yeah, like Three Rivers Distillery here in town has their own line of booze, not just bourbon.
Correct.
I think it's bourbon, gin, and vodka. I don't know if there's...
And then I think there's a couple other weirds.
I don't know if there's any tequila or anything like that, but I know that's a local place, so that's probably my favorite. That's one of my favorite local places to visit. Obviously, we go to microbrews all the time.
Yep.
So I do enjoy microbrew. I can't say that I'm not a beer guy. I'm just not a Miller Lite, Coors Light, Busch Light, all that jazz. So.
Yeah, we're not that. We're not gonna go pick
I'm
up a
getting
case
too
of
bougie
beer.
for that these days.
Not gonna go pick up a case of beer and drink it in a night or 2 nights or even in a weekend. You know.
Well, I mean, fire season's a different story.
That's true, but I think we do such a variety during fire season. Even like if I bought a case of Bud Light on a Friday night fire night. We have to have 4 or 5 or 6 people to go through that whole case.
Unless it's my wife, she'll drink the whole case by herself.
Well, okay.
One of my favorite things about my wife, and this is going to go back to 2010 when we first started dating.
She drank beer.
She still drinks beer to this day.
Mm-hmm.
I lived with my buddy Pat Ventura, one of 2 friends.
Yes.
And
both named Pat.
He's got in his basement where we hung out. Mm-hmm. He's got those little 18-inch windows.
Yep.
And you could see the feet of who was ever walking by. We'd always try to guess who's walking by. Mm-hmm. Well, if there was, flip-flops walking in a blue box, we knew it was Amanda because she's bringing over the Bud Light.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Always.
And when I met my wife, she was a Miller Lite drinker. Okay. So we'd go out to the bar and we could drink beer. It wasn't. I was very lucky because it wasn't one of those haughty-taughty women that I need to drink martinis.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If we're going to go to club soda, which is
there's a big difference between that and when you're dating somebody to start out, and especially you're in your 20s.
Yeah, you can't really afford the bouginess.
Exactly. We're a little older.
A little bit more well off than we were 20 years ago. We can do some
of that stuff. Now we go out. It's okay. We get whatever we want to drink. Yep. Back then it was like cool. I don't want to spend more than like $50 on dinner and drinks, and most of that I want to be in drinks.
Right.
So, but back into like the food experience with local. One of the big perks for me about being local is it's a unique experience. Yeah. Most of the places we're going to talk about today have one location.
I think you have one that has probably multiple locations.
Correct.
And I've got one that has 2 locations.
So, yeah. I mean, 1 to 2, very, So, when you go, the experiences there, the people that work there have been there for years.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you're regular enough, they know you by name, they know you by face.
Yeah.
It's just a good thing. They get to know you, you get to know them. It's not one of those chain restaurants where there's constantly turnover. There's people that have been at these restaurants for 10 years, 20 years.
I mean, you're going to have your regulars that go into Applebee's and sit at the rail all the time. But, again, it's not that homey feel that you get.
And those regulars outlast the bartenders.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what
right?
you're saying. Yeah, for sure.
If you go into some of these restaurants that we're going to talk about, which I think you have, a couple bars on there. I don't have any bars on mine.
I don't know if I'd consider any of them a bar per se, but
the one I definitely is considering a bar.
That's because when we go there, 9 times out of 10 we're only at the rail getting cocktails.
I understand.
I don't consider it a bar though, because the food is amazing.
Correct.
The atmosphere is amazing.
It is, and I don't sit at the rail when I typically go with my wife, but you know what? It's the same thing. The servers have been there
forever.
Well,
so I'm just gonna say it's club soda here in town, and after you work there, we've gotten to know the 2 bartenders that work Friday and Saturday night because my wife and I, as much as we can, go down, even if it's for just one cocktail. We've gotten to know the bartenders. We've gotten to talk to them. They know what my first drink is without me even ordering because it's always the same first one. No. My first drink's always an espresso martini.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I want that.
Wake up.
I want the pick me up.
Yep.
So, and you get to talking to those guys. They are after they've been there 5 years. They get a slice of the pie.
Okay.
They get a percentage of the business.
Gotcha.
So the one bartender, he's the lead bartender, and he's got 2%. Is his, and the other bartender, and that one's been there for 10. The other bartender's been there for 5. He's got 1%.
Okay.
So they give him a piece of the pie, which I think is phenomenal. You're not going to get that from a chain.
No one works as hard as ownership, and no one should work as hard as ownership.
Agreed.
Unless they got a piece of the pie.
But then they're in ownership.
Even a small piece, correct?
They're
even
a super minority, but nonetheless
means a piece.
Yes,
right. You're vested in how they do it.
Yeah.
Another thing I like about local is most of the time. Not all the time, most of the time, you're getting bigger portions.
Oh,
You know,
I don't know of one that you don't get bigger portions.
Yeah, I mean, there's a handful. But
Here's the thing, though. When you go to a chain restaurant or something like that, everything that they have is pre-portioned, pre-weighed. So every steak, it may not look the same, but every steak is 6 ounces, 8 ounces, 12 ounces. You go to Club Soda, you might get a 6 ounce, you might get an 8 ounce, you might get an 11 ounce. You get a little bit bigger on the sides.
Yep.
So
it's hand scooped out. It's stuff
absolutely.
like
It's handmade. You know, from a lot of times it's from scratch.
Yes.
Especially the higher end ones like Club Soda. I love it. But yes, I mean, they're
and I'll be honest, this one, especially as we move forward and get to our rankings, was incredibly tough for me. There's so many that I've left off.
But you're so biased on the first one because it's your family's business, I think.
Here's the way I look at this, right? If I am coming back to town from not being in that place,
you're going to this spot.
This is one of the places I'm getting off the plane and going to. Maybe not immediately,
right?
But this is part of the trip.
Right.
All three of mine fit that description. Period. If I am in that area, I'm going there regardless.
Okay, right. I agree with you. And of the 3 that are on your list, 2 of them you are semi-frequently there.
Correct.
The third one might be once or twice a year, depending on how often you
maybe
go down.
Once a year, maybe once every couple of years.
But
yes.
Nonetheless. But anyway, so the cons, you know, there's usually only one, which sucks.
It does.
So when you try to go, it's busy as shit. 9 times out of 10, it's busy.
Yep.
A lot of the times, you have to make a reservation for the non-fat, I'm going to say this in a loose term, but fast foodie.
Yep.
You know, there's all sorts of things that...
There's a wait. There's something going on.
Yeah, because one of my favorite Italian places is the Italian Connection.
Which didn't make the list.
It didn't make the list. It can make the list, but again, we both left off a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
So the Italian Connection, it's in an old house. It's very small. There's like 9 tables, maybe 10.
Which... A place I've never been but want to go, and I have a different Italian restaurant that's a local one to Fort Wayne that I love.
Salvatore's is phenomenal. They have 3 locations now.
They do.
It's
4.
Southwest, New Haven,
Tonkel.
I didn't know there was one. Oh, you're right.
And
the Leo Crossing.
Yeah, the Leo Crossing one, and then Washington Center.
Well, and I was right across the street from there today.
Where?
Cookie Cottage, man.
Oh.
Our local dessert place.
Well, exactly.
And that didn't make the list either, but
No.
you know, the girls and I had a little daddy-daughter date today.
Huge.
And, all these portions are huge
everywhere. But it started as one restaurant in Salvatore's. An Italian Connection is one restaurant.
Well, the Salvatore started in a frickin' abandoned gas station.
Yes.
And it's phenomenal. I've eaten at that location multiple times. But... small selection. Like, when you say small selection, what do you mean small selection?
So small selection, I'm thinking of, there's not usually a massive menu. You know, you go to a chain restaurant, you have all kinds of different choices.
Pages. Yeah, okay.
But, you know, you go to some of these places.
It's 1 page, 2 pages.
Correct.
Maybe 2 pages and then a drink and dessert menu.
Yes.
But the other ones you have to flip through. Okay, I see
yes.
what you're... I
so
see what you
there's
mean.
not, which again... They're niche restaurants.
Oh, absolutely.
Do what you do and be better than anybody else at it while you do it. So,
yeah, that's for sure.
And then the last thing I had for a con, and this is kind of that balance, is it's great. It's either great service. Either you get fantastic service, or if you go to some of these, especially the smaller ones, and they're local, sometimes the service is just downright terrible.
Okay.
Because they're established and they don't know you.
I wouldn't say that it's terrible service. It's slower service.
Okay.
I don't necessarily equate that to terrible service. Terrible service to me is like when they're rude and they just blatantly don't bring you refills, or that's terrible service. But if it takes
they
45
show
minutes,
that they care.
Correct.
The wait for me is
irrelevant.
For the most part irrelevant.
Okay.
It's, do they show they care?
Right.
You know, and again, going back to Salvatore's, every time we go to the one on Washington Center Road here in town, the same manager's there. He always comes over to the table, stops, checks on us, makes sure everything is good, and then thanks us for coming in.
Absolutely.
That to me is the most important part.
He wants you to be there.
Being a local.
He wants you to be there.
Restaurant. Yes.
So, I mean, now let's get into our top 3
Okay.
And then we'll give 3 honorable mentions.
Sounds good to
All
me.
right, so let's see. Hear yours.
So number 3 for me, and the reason this is number 3 is because of proximity and the amount of time I can get there. Is the Boardwalk Grill on Johns Pass in Madeira Beach, Florida. You talk about hole in the wall. It's literally a hole in the wall. I'm pretty sure there's 1, 2, 3, 4 tables inside, 4 or 5 seats a stool, and then a couple small, like 2-seater booths. Outside, there's 2 booths.
Oh wow,
That's it.
So it's probably about as big as my basement.
I think if you include the cooking area,
It's probably as big.
it's as big as probably the basement.
Okay.
It's very tiny, but fantastic lobster roll.
Okay, so that's going to be
This
just
is-
like the Italian Connection then.
This is a hand-cut French fry
Ooh.
that's about yay thick. I mean, it's massively
So it's like
thick.
a steak fry.
It is like a steak fry that
Good
is
seasoning?
hand-cut. Fantastic seasoning.
Like
cheese sauce comes with it if you want.
when I think of seasoning for fries, I think of Red Robin. I like their seasoning for
It's
fries.
imagine Red Robin and Lowry's put together
Ooh. Oh.
with just a
And this
hair
is-
of a kick to it.
And this is in
Madeira Beach
Okay, but
on
city.
John's Spot. The city is Madeira Beach.
okay. Is it Tampa area, Pensacola area?
It is. It's west of Tampa.
Okay, so it's
It's on the barrier island that includes that Clearwater's up at the top.
okay.
And
See,
St. Pete's is down at the bottom.
okay,
right.
that's what I was wondering. 'cause
So
I don't
it's,
know where
it's
Madeira
further
Beach is.
south than it's further along the. It's in the middle to south side.
You don't
of
have
that
to
island.
cross the Skyway Bridge to get there.
I do not from where we stay.
Okay.
You would coming from
Sarasota.
Sarasota.
Okay.
So,
So for me, New Pass bait shop.
Mhm.
I'm telling you what.
You like worms? It's a bait shop.
No, I usually go for the crawfish.
Oh, okay.
No, sometimes I'll get shrimp.
Okay.
No, best cheeseburger I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
I
That's
get-
saying something.
It's
You eat a lot of
I
cheeseburgers.
do not so much anymore. I'm trying to dial back on that. It's a double patty with white American cheese.
Love white American
It's
cheese.
so much better than regular American cheese. Bacon. It's almost like a sweet Hawaiian roll meets bruschetta roll.
Okay.
And you go up, you order from a window.
Mhm.
There's only picnic tables or basically a bar rail that overlooks the intercoastal.
Okay.
Boats pull up, fishing boats pull up, clean their fish, get new bait, things like that. We always see dolphin. A lot of times we see dolphin. Obviously, always see pelicans and other birds and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, I make it a point to go there at least once, if not more, every spring break when we're down there.
Mhm.
One year we went down on the circle of shops, St. Armand's Square, but
Yep.
it's a circle. They actually had a location there, and we were out doing our stroll, and I was like, "Oh, there's a new pass, or there's new pass bar and grill." Boom, went inside, got a burger, carried it, walked around the circle.
There you go.
That's how much I like it.
There you go.
Number 2 for me, club soda in town.
That's one that's not on my list, but it should be.
Right.
It should be.
Well, we narrowed it to 3.
Yep.
I've been going a lot more recently,
Mhm.
just because my wife and I have started to take more date nights, things like that. Always start with the same espresso martini. Then I'll usually jump into an old fashioned. We normally only get appetizers there because we are obviously going to multiple places. And I don't want to sit at one place all night because I've got ADHD and I can't do it.
Yeah.
I
get that.
I could spend an entire evening there, go sit at the table and eat, and then pop up to the
Start
bar.
the bar, go to a table,
Come
go back to the
bar.
bar.
I could do that, but
Yes.
they always have good live music.
Mhm.
Great food. Great
Yes.
food. Like we went, I don't know, it's probably been about a year since we went for lunch.
Mhm.
And, it's just amazing.
And here's the thing for me about club soda. Food's good. I like the food. The drinks and the dessert.
Oh, just, you don't say no more.
I believe it's an oatmeal raisin cookie
With
the ice cream. It is.
their duck rolls are my absolute favorite.
They're duck rolls for an
love-
appetizer.
I love duck rolls. I love duck. Duck just tastes good.
As long as it's prepared correctly.
As long as it's not Daffy or
Donald.
or Scrooge.
Okay.
Those
That's
three
a McDuck. So you don't have to worry about that
Yeah.
one at the Golden Arches.
Not local, by the way.
That's definitely not local. And then for me, it's the Timotini, named after one of the bartenders.
Yep.
It is, to me, it's their signature drink.
They've got a lot of signature
They do,
drinks.
but
That's
to me,
your signature
That's my
drink
signature
while you're
drink
there.
while I'm there. So
Yep, for sure.
My number 2, I've got to flip back to pizza. I love pizza.
You could eat pizza every day of your life and be just content.
I think I could. I'm going with La Rosa's Pizza from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
Now, while they have, I think, 15 different locations,
are they Cincinnati only
within Cincinnati? There's like when I think of Cincinnati, when I think of some of these bigger cities, like I think of Chicago and all the freaking suburbs and little cities around Chicago.
My question is, are they as far north as Dayton?
No, Middletown is the farthest they are north.
See, that's where
and they cross just over the river. I think there's one location in
Newport
type of thing.
Yeah.
But they're concentrated in that Cincinnati,
the greater
area.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, there
area.
may be, and again, so you cross over the Indiana state line.
There might be somewhere.
Correct,
there,
but to me, that's all part of Cincinnati.
Yeah, the great, just like Northwest Indiana is
and
Chicago.
And their Buddy Pizza.
What's the Buddy Pizza?
It has Italian sausage, pepperoni,
ham,
capicola.
Ooh, capicola's good.
Right, banana peppers. Oh. We get it. It's a little thinner crust, so think more Pizza King. God, and we get it cut in the squares
because of Pizza King.
Because that's the way they say. And we get it a little extra done, a little more bake on the pizza to firm it up just a hair.
All right, so La Rosa's or Pizza King, deathbed.
Gosh, that's tough. It really is tough for me.
Are you going? What did you call the pizza from La Rosa's?
Buddy Pizza.
The Buddy
Deluxe,
or the Royal Feast.
No mushrooms. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Tough, isn't it?
I'm probably going with my number 1 if I'm on my deathbed.
All right, then you're gonna go La Rosa's then.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Well, what you got number 1?
Number 1, Fort Wayne's famous Coney Island Wiener Stand. It is the oldest continually operating hot dog stand in America.
Okay, so was it 1915?
1914 started in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Coney Island or amusement park, I believe, opened in like 14 or 15, and Nathan's opened in 16 or 18 there.
Okay.
So we are older than everybody laughs. Oh, well, you're not as old as... Well, actually, we are older than Nathan's.
And for the most part, it's been family-owned and operated. Has it been the same family throughout?
So what happened was 3 Greek immigrants came over and started it in 1914.
Okay.
Somewhere around 1920, 1921, they sold to the Eshkoff family. And that family is still running it
through the lineage.
Okay. With a new family that's bought in, the Toteron family that is part of it. So we have 2 families that own this restaurant. It serves hot dogs, hamburgers, chili, and baked beans. Like, that's literally the menu. So when you talk about limited menu selection...
That is very limited. But there's... You know what? And they only have 3 types of hot dogs, really. You got your Coney dog, you got your plain dog, and you got your cheese dog. You can doctor it up with a little bit.
There's not much choice.
No.
We have mustard and ketchup. Mm-hmm. We have chili Coney sauce.
Do you ever get people
and
asking...
slices of American cheese.
Right. Does anybody ask for the chili, which we call soup?
We don't do that. But yes, people try to do that.
You won't do that?
It's very rare. We upcharge them, but it's a pain in the butt to do. And it tastes different. It's a different thing. When they ask for a chili dog, we tell them, this is our chili dog. This is our Coney dog. You're going to get the Coney sauce on there, which is a meat-based, like a watery sauce. It's not thick.
Right. Well, I get usually 3 or 4.
And you dunk them in
and I dunk them in the chili.
Which you've gotten me doing that lately.
Yeah, buddy. Gotta love it. I love surprise visits on Saturday at about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
But, again, if I didn't live here, and I flew back in for whatever, see mom, see kids, whatever it was coming in.
So basically, your retirement plan.
I would go. That would be a place that would be on the list that I would have to stop at. All of the other places that I love in Fort Wayne that are local, they take a back burner.
Right.
To Coney Island.
All right. So do you like Coney Island enough? Say Jimmy Toteron came to you tomorrow and said, "Pat, I gotta sell. Do you want it?"
If I had the money, I would buy it in a heartbeat.
Okay.
In a heartbeat.
Jimmy, whenever you're done, Pat and I will buy. I love it, man. And you know what? We did a tribute to the late, great Dennis.
Tiny Moose Parker.
Oh, my God. He was a long-time employee of Coney Island. Mm-hmm. I can't ever go in there and not picture Tiny.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I mean, he's all over the wall as it is, but...
That's correct.
Love the man. All right, number one for me.
Number one for you.
2 locations.
Okay.
Both in Florida.
Okay.
The original one opened in Tampa. Never been there.
Okay.
St. Armand's Square, Sarasota, Florida. The Columbia.
And is this the place that your beloved bride is at currently?
No.
Okay.
She is not there. She's at another one of my local favorites.
Okay.
Dry Dock. But the Columbia, it's obviously Colombian food.
Okay. This is the tapas that we talked about the other day. Okay.
So prior to COVID, their menu was like 6 pages.
Oh, wow.
And of the 6 pages, 4 of them were tapas.
Okay.
Now their menu is about 3 pages, and it's only 1 page of tapas.
Okay.
Every time we go, she picks 3, I pick 3.
Yep.
And we just share.
Yep.
Last time when we went, last April was the first time we ever went with another couple. My wife's brother, his wife went, and we all got 2. Okay. We all picked 2.
2 things.
And shared 8. They've got a 1902. You know what? 1902 is when it opened, because that's their home salad is the 1902 salad.
Okay.
So it's just like the Casa salad here in Fort Wayne.
Okay.
It's their own spin on it.
Yep.
I love it. The atmosphere is phenomenal. The decor is phenomenal. Always freaking busy. Every year we make a reservation. We get in there 15 minutes before the reservation. We don't get our table until 10 minutes after our reservation.
Okay.
So a lot of times we'll say, all right, we want to eat at 7, knowing that we're not going to eat until 7:30. We'll get down there. We'll go sit at the bar. They have a great sangria.
Okay.
They have a white and a red sangria. Wow. Phenomenal. I'm not a wine guy, and I'll drink the sangria.
Yeah.
So, by far, my favorite, without a doubt, hands down, Columbia.
So who didn't make the list? We talked about the Italian connection.
The Italian connection didn't make the list for me. I mean, golly, there's probably 7 or 8 restaurants in the circle that I could name.
Yeah.
That are local to there. But in Fort Wayne, specifically since we live here, I would definitely say Italian Connection is probably number 4. I would say that Lake Offs is up there.
Okay.
Lake Offs is up there. It's a nice little hole-in-the-wall bar.
Yep.
It's good bar food. Best sausage roll in town.
Yep.
After having the dinner at Baker Street a couple weeks ago, well, when we had it catered,
yeah,
just the hospitality of the cook and the chef and the waitresses, I think I loved that.
Yeah.
Now, going to the restaurant, you get your good or bad service every single time.
Correct.
And it's a little bit pricier than Club Soda. Mm-hmm. But I would say Baker Street's up there.
Okay.
So that would probably be my honorable mention locally, like local here in town.
Okay. So I've got breakfast. I've got Cindy's Diner.
Oh, yes.
Cindy's Diner did not make the list.
Oh, but I forgot about Cindy's Diner until just now.
You know, again, morning they close at 2 or something in the afternoon, so we don't get down there. It's downtown, hole in the wall restaurant. For us, it's the Cork. It's Cork and Cleaver. We love the Cork. We love the service. Most of the time we get a server that's been there for over a decade.
Yeah, soup and salad bar.
Soup and salad is fantastic during the week.
It's not as good during the weekend.
At night they don't do the cream of broccoli soup, which is the reason I go. So that's definitely up there for me.
Well, there's one we're forgetting about. Every Wednesday.
The Lunchbox Cafe.
I actually
Pie Day.
Pie Day.
Which, here we're going to have to start tweaking that on Fridays as we move into Lent. They have some amazing whitefish. I love their whitefish.
You know what? The Chilean sea bass that we had, that was off the chain from Baker Street.
But I don't know if that's on the main menu and that's normally.
Well, I'm going to start looking up who's got Chilean sea bass here in town.
Okay.
Oyster Bar. Matthew at Oyster Bar. That's another local.
That's another good one.
There's so many that you can. That now that we're talking about it, you can just start rattling off. Mm-hmm. But Because they didn't come full front when we made the list, that's why they would probably get the honorable mention.
Well, and that's again the thing. Like, I like going there, but if I came back from out of town, would that be a place I would necessarily go? I might, but I wouldn't have to.
I would have to go to Club Soda because of the martinis.
Mm-hmm. I love, and I've been having a craving for Powers hamburgers.
I haven't had Powers in a minute. We should go.
We tried a couple Saturdays ago, Brooklyn and I, when we got off of Coney Island. They were closed.
They got random hours now.
I think they're having some major staffing issues, which does, again, that's another problem at local. These kids can go work at these chains, know they're going to get paid right away. Right. At local, it's just different.
Well, and also Powers, it's just like Cindy's Diner, where the kitchen is as big as this table.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so, I mean, that is what it is, man.
There's a lot of those, you know. And I think part of what makes the local restaurant so amazing are the customers. And that's going to bring us into what's grinding Greeny. So the customer, what's going on? I've worked at my family's restaurant since 1995. For those of you doing math, that's approximately 30 years. In the past 5 to 10 years, people have changed. It seems more and more are becoming very self-entitled assholes who demand immediate things. Now, I know in society we've kind of come up and gone with that instant gratification thing, but come on. Coney Island is a quick service restaurant. It's not instant service. You're not going to get things immediately once you sit down, right? Also, since COVID happened, you know, that little thing where everybody, you know, kind of got a little sick, got a cold, we've added some new protocols, right? You used to be able to come in from the kitchen, right through the kitchen in the back door or the front door, and wait, and people were pretty nice and they'd take turns taking tables. Now we lock the back door during busy time so all the traffic flows through the front. Fantastic. It makes it really easy, right? Everyone gets a chance to come in, sit down, and enjoy a world-famous Coney dog. Some people don't like this. Many do. I'm talking to the fools who want to buck the line and just show up and complain and do whatever they want.
They're called Karens.
This restaurant is small, right? We don't have a ton of room. And on Saturdays, we get lines, right? Now, if we don't have a spot for you inside to sit down, you're going to have to go outside and wait in the line. On a beautiful Fort Wayne Saturday, that's not a big deal. But if it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's cold, people don't want to wait outside. But they get to enjoy nature. Now, for some odd reason, when it's cold around here, people seem to forget their damn coats. I don't understand it. Now, if you don't want to suck it up, then don't come. But if you do, if you're cool with just being it, come in, enjoy. You're going to have a wonderful experience. All right? If you want to bitch, if you want to buck the line, we're going to have issues. The bottom line here, people, when you're a customer in a restaurant, be patient, right? Enjoy the process, smile. It's going to go a long way, and the people around you are going to appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Too many Karens out there.
It's gotten so
What's
bad
the male
lately.
equivalent to a Karen?
I thought it was a Ken.
Is it a Ken? Was it a Ken or a Carl?
I don't remember. I thought it was another K word.
Well, Carl, K-A-R-Y, or K-A-R-L. K-A-R-E-N.
I've never seen it spelled like that unless you're Swedish.
Well, that's why they are a Carl.
Okay.
But anyway, yes, people have changed. The way things go change. You know what it comes to me, for me, what it comes down to, and call it what it is, call me an idiot, call me an asshole, I've heard it all before, I don't care. The generation that is between you and my mom,
okay,
so that's, people in their late 40s, 50s,
mm-hmm.
The way they started raising their kids, sticking electronics in their face.
Yep.
That's where we went wrong.
Here's
and
the thing.
And those kids are now the millennials, whatever. Those are the kids right now that are the ones that are the biggest assholes who are super entitled.
Yes and no. My biggest problem is typically people 50 plus. Those are the people that come in and think they can do whatever they want because that's how it used to be.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm up front in the window every Saturday.
I know, it's funny watching you.
And when we get busy, right? I greet and seat the entire restaurant while I'm standing hot dogs. People want to come in and they just want to be like, well, I want to sit at the counter. I'm like, awesome. There's my line for dine-in. If you want to get at the end of the line, we'll get you in as fast as we can. Well, I want to sit at the... I'm seating the entire restaurant, including the counter.
Yes.
Right?
You're the general manager, you're the quarterback.
Here's the thing. The people that understand it, especially bigger groups, they're so appreciative.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have to worry about fighting for we're taking care of them.
Yeah.
You know, it's the people that, again, that's where I go into that. It's that self-entitled prick that thinks, well, there's just two of us. We can come in and sneak. No, you get to wait like everybody else. Yeah. If I can get you in, I'm going to.
Yeah, you're going to go down the line. You're going to say,
I've done
2 seats at the bar. Oh, you got 6. That's not going to work. You have 4. That's not going to work. Hey, I've got 4. 2. You can come up.
Come on up.
Yeah, so that's the way it is. But yes, I agree. The customers are ridiculous.
Yes.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Because,
but a handful of them.
Because here's the thing, and I think for us it's because we've been in the service industry before. Like, when we go to a bar, when we go to a restaurant, you know, we talked about pre-bussing tables and all that. If you're smiling, if you're friendly, people appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
And it makes a big difference both ways in the restaurant.
Agreed. So, welcome to this week's Flying High with the Goose. This one's a little different for me this week. I'm not really bitching about something to bitch about something, but I gotta get this off my chest. My wife is in paradise right now, Sarasota, Florida. She took my youngest daughter. No big deal. She's there for a real special reason that's, you know, kind of hitting home to us, and, you know, that'll be a conversation for another day. But what do you think she's doing while she's down there? 1, playing in the damn water. 2, playing in the sand. 3, swimming in a pool. All the things I can't do in Fort Wayne because it's 60 degrees with 40-mile-an-hour winds, tomorrow's forecast, or 35 and rain all day, today's forecast. Bitterly cold. I'm bitterly angry. She texted me the first day she got there. She went to New Pass. Went to New Pass for lunch. Sends me a picture of my 4-year-old daughter frolicking around in the Gulf. How do you think that made me feel? Pissed off. What do you think she had for dinner that night? The Columbia. Like, what the hell? Talked to her today. Tried to call her. She hits ignore. Okay, cool. It's dinner time. Amanda, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're walking into Dry Dock. Another one of my favorite restaurants. I know you're in Florida. Why you gotta rub it in my face? You know, you're as bad as my best friend on the other side of the camera, who I talk to when he's on vacation because he likes to rub paradise in my face. Also, my father-in-law loves to golf. Texts me every morning at 9 o'clock on the 5th green. Like, come on. I know you guys are having fun. I know you're having a hell of a time. Do you gotta rub my nose in it? Do you really have to?
I think that's just funny.
But it's, you know, I would do the same thing.
I know you would.
And I do the same thing.
You do.
But when I'm on the bad end of it, I get bitter and grouchy.
I understand that. You know, the same thing's going to happen to me come spring break when I'm here slaving away and you're down enjoying Florida. You'll be sending me those messages of all those things. Now, I don't experience all the restaurants that you do down there.
No.
You know.
But the difference, like, if it was a normal spring break, like where you go and it's crowded and stuff, you're not going to want to be there.
Hell no.
You hate crowds. But when we go, my in-laws have a condo. It's a gated community. We basically have free reign of the beach. So there's not people around.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I hate receiving those. I love seeing pictures of my kid.
Of course.
I love seeing that she's having a good time.
Of course.
But I am jealous to the max.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, I've got my 2 big girls here with me.
And they love being with. They love having daddy time.
We had daddy-daughter day tonight. Yeah. We went and got a dozen cookies from Cookie Cottage, another local establishment. I got my half dozen of the iced because I'm a glutton for them, and then I let them pick out the other 6.
What did they get?
So they got 1 Snickerdoodle.
Okay.
They got 1 Kids Club because they know Harper. They were thinking of Harper.
Yeah. What the hell is a Kids Club?
It's got M&M's, chocolate chip, and marshmallow.
Oh, okay. Didn't even know that.
They got my wife's favorite, double chocolate chip.
Okay.
And then Abby just got plain sugar.
Okay.
Because she had the sugar cookie with the icing.
Yep.
When she was probably 4 or 5, and she said it choked her.
Oh, okay.
So she's reluctant to try it again.
Okay.
But she got the regular sugar cookie.
You know what one of my favorite is lately that I've been getting? The mint chocolate chip.
I don't like that. But you know what I did get? I did get a Georgia pie.
Oh, did you?
Okay,
yeah.
You get to pick your 2 cookies.
Mm-hmm.
I went chocolate chip.
Okay.
And then they put the frosting in the middle. So I have that, and we're gonna when we're done here and we wrap up, we're gonna watch The Masked Singer tonight. And we're gonna eat our
cookies.
We're gonna share the Georgia pie.
Okay.
So
that'll be good.
And then we went to dinner.
Where'd you go to dinner tonight?
Not local.
Oh.
Golly. So I was actually driving to dinner. I'm like, ooh, Lunchbox. When do they close? Thinking that they closed at 5. Mm-hmm. They closed at 3. Couldn't go there.
Oh, okay. I think maybe only Fridays are open late.
Yeah. Then I was thinking, oh, what about Willie's? Local.
Yeah.
Not open.
Okay.
They did want breakfast. We went to IHOP.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Should have gone to Skyline.
It wasn't my decision. I
let them pick.
It was their.
Yeah.
Normally when we go to dinner, my wife or I pick. Today was them.
Okay.
Today was them.
All right.
So we had a good daddy-daughter time, and then when you leave, we're gonna cozy up on the couch together, watch Masked Singer, and then I'll send him to bed, and then I'll watch the new Full Swing on Netflix. An episode of that before I go to bed.
Yep. And then get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, get a workout in.
Yeah, 5:30. Yep. Get up tomorrow. 5:30. Get a quick workout in, quick shower.
Yeah, I definitely need to. I skipped this morning.
I skipped this morning too. See, the girls are sleeping in my bed because mom's not here. They miss mom. I don't like to sleep in an empty bed. I got a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, and 2 dogs. Do I regret it? When I wake up, I regret it.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired and grumpy.
Yeah, of course.
But in the moment, I love it because my kids are going to be my kids this small for so long.
That's correct.
And Peyton's going to be coming to that age where she doesn't want anything to do with Dad.
Yeah.
So I got to soak it up all I can.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So
all right,
let's dive into our sports segment for the week.
Yep.
So our bold predictions. What do you have for your lock of the week?
A lock of the week, I'm going Purdue avenging their loss to IU.
Somebody needs to smack you. It is in West Lafayette. It should end up that way. Purdue or IU just came off a tough loss to Michigan State up in Michigan State.
Because of what happened at Michigan State, our hearts, prayers, thoughts go to those people up there in East Lansing.
Of course.
Michigan State played with a different level of intensity. They did.
I can't argue with that, but I also have to say it's Michigan State, and we are now in February. It's irrelevant what Michigan State does
They're
up
not
until
a tournament team this year, though.
But I wouldn't want to play him in the tournament.
No, because Izzo, he's one of the best postseason coaches.
If not the best. If not, maybe.
No, he's not.
He's up there.
He's top 5.
Top 5.
He's definitely not the best.
Okay.
He's not even top 2. He's probably 3, 4.
So, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go to the Premier League.
You love your soccer.
I do. And I am going to say that Aston Villa makes a comeback and they beat Everton as my lock of the week after getting beat by Arsenal.
So is AV, are they in relegation territory?
No. Everton's closer. Everton's, I think, in that 15th to 12th to 15th.
No. Everton?
Yes.
Bottom 3 up until last weekend.
Okay. So I think so they may be in 15.
How many teams are there?
20. So maybe that would make sense.
They're probably
17 or 18, 19, 20 get relegated. So somewhere in that mark.
Yep, so.
And Aston Villa's in the middle, in that 9th to 12th area on the table.
As of right now, 11
for Aston Villa
and 16.
Okay, that was close.
So they're close. So Everton, they're only 1 point clear. Okay. So 16 and 17 are tied at 21. West Ham is in 18 and they're at 20.
Okay.
They play 38 games. They've played 23, so 15 left.
Yep.
So we're just past halfway.
Yeah. So my dark horse, I'm going to take a stab, and I'm going to say West Virginia on the road over Kansas.
No, that's the Rocky Top song I was thinking. West Virginia.
Yeah. I think that Huggins can pull one out.
Is he still the coach?
I thought so.
I don't know. I assume, but who knows. So mine, hurts me to say this. Because we all know who my favorite basketball team is.
Yep.
I'm going to go out and I'm going to say North Carolina pulls the upset over number 1 ACC ranked, not number 1 overall.
Virginia. Wow.
Virginia. I think that I think it can be done. I really need Virginia to lose 2 games and Duke to win out, and then I just want Duke to be in the top 4 for the ACC so we get the double bye. And we're sitting in 6th right now. We have 2 games left against teams that are ahead of us, which are Vatech, which we need to avenge a loss at Vatech, and then we need to avenge a loss at North Carolina State. North Carolina State Saturday, Vatech's Monday or Tuesday, and then next Saturday I'm going to miss the game, the North Carolina game, because we'll be at Saints Alive. So I have it on record.
Okay.
So. All right, trivia time.
I'll give you updates during
I will punch you in the throat like the Vatech player punched Kyle Filipowski with 2 seconds left. Punched him in the throat. It was a celebration. He didn't do it. He didn't maliciously do it.
Oh, so that's what the excuse is going to be. I'm celebrating winning a bid. I'm going to hit you in the throat because you gave me an update.
Yeah. But however, in the rule book, intent does not matter.
Exactly.
And he smoked him
Same
right
thing
in
with
here.
Yeah. Okay.
But yes, intent does not matter.
Okay.
Should have been a flagrant 2. We would have tied the game up and got the ball for a last-second shot.
What is your trivia?
Trivia. Oh God, I'm looking at yours, and I'm trying to read yours, thinking it's mine. No.
Yeah,
What is the only team in the NFL to neither host nor play in the Super Bowl? Okay, no. I'm not sure what I should have checked the date on this because I know Carolina. They played in the Super Bowl. I don't think Jacksonville has played in the Super Bowl, but I know they host. I'm pretty sure they've hosted. So I'm not sure if this includes some of the newer. But again, the newer ones would have been the Texans, which have hosted.
To not play
or host.
I'm going to go, no.
Come on, Pat. I'm going to start the do.
I know, this is tough.
You'll kick yourself in the teeth after you do it.
Probably.
You ready to give up yet? I mean, there's only 32 teams.
What about the Chargers?
No, they've hosted. They've let
San Diego has hosted?
No, but the 49ers beat the San Diego in the Super Bowl back in the 90s.
Okay.
The answer is Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
Now,
they've never played in a Super Bowl.
So the question is, though.
Yeah.
There's a little gray area on this one.
You're talking about the Baltimore Ravens being the former Cleveland Browns.
Right.
No. Because that's where I was thinking Tennessee initially, but then I remember Tennessee did play. Because
yeah,
I don't think Nashville's never hosted.
No, but they probably will host soon because they're getting a new stadium, so I bet you they host the next 5 to 10.
Okay. I'm going to stick on the restaurant theme. What is the oldest American restaurant still operating today?
Is it Coney Island?
It is not.
Okay. Give me a region.
Northeast.
Oh, I have no idea then.
The Union Oyster House in Boston, Massachusetts.
It would be Boston.
Founded in 1826
nice.
For a restaurant. The oldest tavern in America is the White Horse Tavern in Newport, Rhode Island.
Okay.
Guess when that opened?
1725.
1673.
Okay. Do you know what the oldest American brewery is?
Yingling.
Yeah. It was kind of easy.
Yeah. The oldest fast food chain.
Is it still around?
It is. Opened in 1921.
It's not KFC.
Nope.
It's not Wendy's.
Nope.
Is it Burger King?
But you'll like it.
Skyline?
No.
What is it?
White Castle.
See, as I get older, White Castle fries, they only come in one size according to the Beastie Boys. But I'm okay with the White Castle these days.
Well, you know what? Hey, that's awesome that we had a good time tonight. If you like what you saw, if you want to help us build our community, please hit the like button, leave us a comment. Don't forget to subscribe and ding the bell so you get notifications when we're
Amanda,
on.
put the bell right above my finger.
Right there.
Right
yes.
there.
Yeah, that might be too high. Follow us also on TikTok. You get to see the latest from Greeny, from the Goose.
God, I got to pull my head out of my ass.
And actually did something. Yeah. It's at Greeny, Greeny, the letter N, the Goose. And that's going to wrap it up.
And thanks for flying with us.